Now that you guys are done with the second exam, the next kind of step to this thing is going to be the research proposal stuff. I'm looking at your syllabus right now, and what it looks like is you have to give me a idea for your research paper um, that's due on the 12th, so that's a Monday, and then the draft is due the 19th, which is the next week. So this is your Moodle page. Yours may look a little different than mine that you're seeing here because this is mine. If you go all the way to the bottom, you'll see that there's something that says class paper proposal at the bottom. And so here's what I want. Let's be clear on this, and then we'll go over some of those Word documents. Here's what's due on the 12th. All I need from you is an email that says, kind of in writing, what topic you want to study. And I need you to be a little specific with that. So my suggestion is to think about the topics we've already covered, or think about what topics look interesting to you. So look through the book. You can also look at some of the other lectures for like exam 3 and 4, just to get an idea of what you can look at. And what you want to do is on the 12th, which is Monday, what I need you to do is just send me an email that says, I want to study the effect of something on something. So as an example, you can say, I want to study the effect of media violence on aggression. I want to study the effect of group size on conformity. I want to study the effect of the IV on the DV. So that's the way it should just read, and that's all you need to do. And then what I will do is send you back an email with some ideas of where you should head, because part of the deal with this is that this proposal needs to be theoretically novel, so it needs to be a study that really hasn't been done before. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you find that. All right, so I'm going to guide you in the right way once I know kind of what your general thoughts are. And then I'll send you that email in response. All right, so part of the deal with this is because this is a psychology course, and I know several of you are not psychology majors, but several of you are going to have to learn how to write like a psychologist writes, and that's going to be APA style. All right, so what I have, let me show you some of those documents to help you with this. This is going to be the thing that's due on the 19th. All right, so let's be clear. On the 12th, Monday, I just need an email with your idea, and then I'll help you go yonder. What on the 19th, June 19th, what's going to be due is you need to email me a draft of your paper. The draft needs to be almost like a completed paper at this point. All right, now I expect it to be a little rough. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to check it for brief APA style, because that's what I would do if you were taking the class with me in person. And then I'm going to send out your email to a peer in the class who's going to give you feedback and send it back to you. All right, so that's going to be the way that works. And you, I believe you get points for doing the grading. The actual proposal itself is due on the 21st, so you'll have basically 2 days once you get your peer reviews papers back. All right, so that's going to be the way that works. So here's what I want. I want a proposal. This is going to be if you were going to design an interesting, theoretically new study on some topic, what would you do? All right, so let me show you this document here. So these are all available for you on Moodle. There we go. All right, so this is basically how psychologists write. And part of the grading rubric is going to be, did you adhere to APA style? All right, so this is a draft of basically the pieces that go in a paper. First, just in terms of APA style, I want you guys to pay attention to some subtle things here. Number one is if you look up here, let's see if this will work. Nope, it will not. If you work up here, let's see if that'll, whoa. Oh my, okay, that's big, but there you go. If you work up there, let's pick pen. There we go. Not big, no, pen. There we go. If you look up there, what you'll see is the word running head is in the header. Only the R is capitalized, and then this piece here is going to be a shortened title, but look how it's all in caps. Also in the header is going to be the page number. Here is going to be the title of your paper. Your name goes right here, so it's just you, and then Gettysburg College, because that's where you go to school. All right. On the second page, all right, is going to be a brief abstract of the paper itself. However, the more I think about it, you know what? Screw the abstract. Pen there. We are. Don't give me an abstract. I don't want it. All right, I don't want it. Instead, you're going to start your paper here. All right. A couple things to know. So this is going to be page 2, not page 3, but notice how there's page numbers here. Also notice now that this is the same running head as you were on the title page, except for the word running head is gone. All right, you can do that in Word. Also, right here, you start the paper with your title. Literally copy and paste it from the title page. It should be centered. And then after that, you'll see I have written for you guys. Sorry. There you go. I have written for you guys kind of what goes in the intro. So the first part's going to be the intro, and I've highlighted for you what goes in it, what your first paragraph should look like, what your second paragraph, third paragraph should kind of look like, and so on and so forth. All right. Now the intro is going to be the thing that I grade the most. All right. So what I'm looking for here is this is where you talk about theory and past research. So if you're going to choose, let's say, I want to study, let's pick something that's not social psyche. So if I'm going to study the effect of color of the letter on perception, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the intro to talk about the past research on color perception, and then talk about a theory that's been used to describe how this all works. All right, and then you're gonna and that's going to take several pages. All right, I expect that to be probably about 2 to 3 pages, double spaced, somewhere in that ballpark of what has past research shown, what does theory say. But what's important is, as you're writing this, to discuss what your study adds to the past research. Why is your study new? What are you adding? Also, when you talk about theory, after you describe an existing theory, tell me, what does your study add to theory? What will it test? What will it do? And then I want you to end so that's going to take several paragraphs. And what I want you to do is end your intro with a hypothesis or hypotheses. What do you expect will happen? All right. After the intro, as you can see, we have the method. So the method, notice how it starts here. It's bold. It's centered. The method section has 2 pieces to it, or 3 pieces. The first is the participants. Notice how it's left aligned, bold. All right. And then you hit tab and you start. So in the participants section, you need to describe who your sample is going to be. All right. Notice how here it says, like, if they're right-handed, like, that's only relevant if it's important to your study. For social psychologists, usually not. Or for social psychologists, usually not. I guess we're not erasing that. But describe who your sample is going to be. How many people? The average age with standard deviation. What is the ethnicity? Are they going to be majority white? What is the gender breakdown? So if you have 150 people in your study, how many are going to be male? All right. Obviously, if you tell me the total number of males, I can guess how many females are going to be. So you don't need to say both. But that goes in the participants section. All right. After participants, when you describe your sample, that should be only 1 paragraph. You're going to do materials. Notice how materials is left aligned in bold. What you're going to do is you need to describe a lot of information about your the materials. Now, materials here typically means questionnaires. However, it doesn't have to. So if you see down here, I have for you an example kind of setup of how that works. But you need to include a lot of information. So number 1, for example, is going to be the name of the questionnaire itself. Okay. Oh, sorry. My pen's being really weird. Oh, it's because I'm writing off the thing. Okay. So number one, you need to give me the name of the questionnaire. Number 2, the citation. So don't make up your own questionnaire unless you have to. Talk to me about that. Number 3 is going to be the number of items. Number 4 is going to be give me a sample item. Okay. Number 5 is give me the rating scale. If they have a rating scale, like this is a 1, not at all, to 5, extremely rating scale. Number 6, you have to tell me how it's scored. Are items added? Are they averaged? And finally, number 7 is tell me what high scores mean. Okay, so the higher the score, the more intelligent you are, for example. You need to rinse and repeat this process for all your questionnaires that you have included. All right, every single questionnaire needs to have all that information in it. What's nice about this, though, is that it's more like a formula at this point. Where if you do it the first time and you have all those pieces in there, just rinse and repeat. All right. And what you're doing here is you're just describing the questionnaires. Now, if you have other materials, for example, if you're going to have people watch a TV show, or if you're going to have them, have, let's say, someone's going to provoke them. Well, how you provoke them, if you use something to do it with, like if you're going to use the hot sauce paradigm to measure aggression, for example, which you'll get to in a second, in the third unit, you need to talk about those materials. If you're going to show a TV show, you need to describe it. So all that would go in materials as well. And then finally, the last piece is going to be procedure. Oh, okay. The last piece is going to be procedure. All right. Procedure, you need to give a detailed description of the word for word kind of what happens, like what happens first, what happens second, what happens third. And you can read how it's described here. All right, and then that's going to be the end of your paper as it relates to the proposal. For an APA style paper, typically after the method would go the results and then the discussion. But this is a proposal; it's a hypothetical study, so there is no results. Therefore, there's no discussion. So just end it here. However, if you scroll down, what you'll see is you do have to do references. I give you some examples here that you see on your page. In addition to that, we're not saving that at all. In addition to that, what I have is, this is also there as well. We have, this is how to do citing with authors, and I have annotated kind of what each piece is and how to do it. And I'm going to be looking for this. So make sure appropriate things are italicized. Only certain things are capitalized, things of that nature. All right, you kind of see how that looks. And that's available for you. And once again, if you click on these little things right here, you'll see how they're annotated. Okay. And then finally, how you cite in text, I also have for you. You should be doing this with your reading club anyway. But I have examples here. All right, so that's what I'm expecting for the paper. What I'm going to do once again is look for your email that's due on the 12th of June that describes what your project wants to be on, and I'll kind of give you some direction. Where you find your articles and theory from, Google Scholar. Literally go to Google Scholar and type in your topic, and then you'll see a whole bunch of articles, and you just have to find the ones that are relevant. In terms of the flow of the paper, okay, this is going to be very important. In terms of the flow, as a reader, here's what I'm expecting. Your introduction is going to lay out a story of here's what's been done, here's what my study is going to add, here's what theory says should happen, here's what my study is going to add to theory, and then your hypotheses. I should never be surprised by a hypothesis. Every hypothesis you read, I should be like, oh yeah, they talked about this in the intro. They talked about this in the past research and the theory. Check. Like, that is not a surprise to me. Now, as you go on, when I read the method, I should be like, oh, how they're going to test their hypothesis is they're going to use these materials on these participants using this procedure. So it should actually flow pretty easily from here's what's been done, here's what I'm going to do. Here's theory, here's what I'm going to do. Here's the hypotheses that I want to test. They're derived from the past work. And then here's the method section describing everything I need. And if you do that, this should go well. Finally, I also have the rubric for you on Moodle so you can see exactly how I'm going to grade, so there should be no surprises on your end. Good luck, and email me if you have questions.